Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. There's Santa and his elves in the background there. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon or good evening whenever you're watching this, and welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody's doing alright, looking forward to Christmas. What a glorious morning. It's absolutely freezing as always, but the sun is shining, so I'm out. This morning we're here at Stanley Bank. I'll show you now. Stanley Bank, Stanley Mill, Stanley Meadow, they're all based here. Sankey Canal. The Sankey Canal used to be here, but it's you can get onto the canal across the road from the pub. Used to be called the Ship Inn. Anyway, Santa and his elves are out. Anyway, yeah, so the reason I brought you here, it's a nice local walk. And there's a heritage centre here as well. So if you wanted to go and have a look around the heritage centre, you could do. But we'll take you through and we'll have a little walk. See what we can find, eh? Ooh, one for sorrow. It's not good, is it? It's not a good start. Hope we don't fall in the river. River, I hear you ask? Yes, there's actually a river here. Blackbrook River. Yeah, so Blackbrook River, but I think most people know it as just a brook, but it is actually a river. We'll take you up to there. First of all, I want to show you this. This is the basin. Now, this was the basin at the start of the canal, or the terminus, where the boats used to turn round. It was much bigger than this at one time. There's actually marker stones. Now, these could be them here. There's marker stones which show you how wide the basin actually was. So this little stone here, this could be one of the marker stones. And the river running in the background there. Okay, so when you get in here, one of the first things you'll see is this cart here. I think it's called a Chalna cart, and it's a copy of what was used in the local mines in the 1700s, 1800s. Looks bloody heavy, doesn't it? Imagine having to push that. Ooh, there's a little dog come to say hello. So there's some info about it here, but it's really muddy, so I don't know whether we'll be able to read it. Located on the Blackbrook branch shed. So this was actually the Blackbrook branch of the St Helens Canal. St Helens Canal, the first industrial canal built in England. I think it was 1757 when it was built. And as I say, this was the basin. Okay, and right next to the basin we have this derrick. Now, this was used for loading and unloading the canal boats when they got into the basin here. I suppose they'd have been loaded with coal and whatever. Now, there's actually a third sculpture, but I don't know whereabouts it is. I've never been able to find it, because all the info tells you when you arrive here there's three main sculptures: the cart, the derrick, and anybody who's watching, if you know the third one, please let me know in the comments. Now, I don't know whether that over there is one of the marker stones, or it's these big sandstone ones, one over there and one here. Anyway, let's continue on. Now, normally when I get here, I always have a walk up that way. That'll eventually take you up, follows the river all the way up to Carr Mill. But last time I was here, I don't know what made me come round this way, but I'm glad I did. So I'll take you, show you what's round here. Yes, like I was saying, you could walk the other way and come back this way or whatever, because it's going to be one of those walks where we retrace our footsteps. But like I said, most people walk the other way. And then last time I was here, I was with Cadden actually, and we had to walk round here. And I'm glad that we did, because if you look over here now, this is the remains of Sankey Mill. So a lot of this was unearthed in 2006. There was a local dig, and then they found the remains of the mill. Now the mill originally, it was an iron slitting mill, not for making nails. So they'd get clumps of iron, and then they'd slit it, and then they'd press it and slit it and keep going, and then they'd make nails out of it. So that was in the 1700s when it was an iron slitting mill, owned by the Quakers. Yeah, so the iron slitting mill was actually demolished in, I think it was 1780s. They said it wasn't profitable. It was actually up for sales on, you can see on old records, 1784, it was listed for sale. Yeah, it wasn't profitable, so it was closed down, demolished. And then they built a corn mill on the site. So I think a lot of these ruins we can see here now date from the corn mill. And the corn mill was built, yeah, built on the same site in the early 19th century. But then again, that too was demolished in the, I think it was the 20th century, sometime in the 20th century, early on I should imagine. And luckily today, the water's flowing, because sometimes you come along here, yeah, it actually tells you on there, Stanley Mill 1773. I think these are just going to be replicas, aren't they, these? Yeah, that was Stanley Mill 2010. Could this be classed as a waterfall? You tell me. So I'm not allowed to go down there, and there's people about, otherwise I'd get down and show you. But there's a tunnel there, so the water runs down there. Now there's another footpath you can go off. There's a lady just coming down it now. That takes you over to Stanley Meadow. Okay, so there's actually a notice board, information board here. Tells you all about it. You can find this online, or you can pop down yourself, come and have a look. That's pictures of the dig in 2006, was it? So that's what they reckon it used to look like. Just a bit square and basic looking, isn't it? Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, so this is where the water comes out from the mill, flows through here. Okay. So that was Stanley Mill. Moving on. I thought that was going to be the pumping station, because there's actually a pumping station here now, because where we started the walk by the Ship pub, that area floods, and it has done over the years, and they put a pumping station in, and they said that's it, cured, it never happened again. My mother-in-law used to live opposite the pub, and first time it flooded when she was there, she got brought out by the fireman. Yeah, little dinghy, front page of the St Helens Star, and this little ruddy dinghy. Anyway, they said they've done this pump, said it'll never flood again. But lo and behold, it flooded again. They reckon somebody forgot to turn the pump on, or they were working on it and turned it off and forgot to turn it back on again. Not sure whether that's just hearsay. Okay, so this, believe it or not, is Blackbrook River. Now if you come down here in the summer, this is just like a trickle. We came down last week and it was flowing a lot quicker than this. I was surprised. I'd never seen it flowing so quickly. Okay, so you don't have to stick to the main path. There's I think this footpath over here that takes you off towards Laffick Estate, and again lots of footpaths all around us. It's mostly people on bikes and people who are not so good on the feet, I suppose, who stick to the path. Little robin there. Tell you what we'll do, we'll put some bird food out, eh? Sluice there, catching all the wipes. What we're not supposed to use. Just been stopped talking to Alan. I can't think of what his second name was. We done Liverpool to Scarborough years ago on the bike for Guide Dogs for the Blind, and the first year we done it, 162 miles, I think it took us about 10 hours, and the first year we done it, Alan come and picked all the bikes up in the back of his wagon, brought all the bikes home for us. Nice bloke. Just talked about motorhomes, said I need to get over to Ireland, I'll have to have a go. So we're still following the river. When I first saw this, I thought it was well, like beavers had built it or something. Like it's just all the crap just all got held up there. I don't know why they don't. I wonder if it's been done on purpose to slow the flow down. And then it spreads off into these, what would you call them? Ponds. Okay, so we have another path off. Right, if you listen carefully now, you can probably hear the traffic. That's because pretty soon we'll be going underneath the A580 East Lancashire Road. Main road through from Liverpool to Manchester. River's on the right of us now. And again, more evidence of the iron ore. IM8, okay?
Yeah, no bad.
Right, now if you look over there, that's where the river comes in. There. And you can see how brown the water is there. So that's the river coming in there. This one here, that's the river. And now this is from the dam, which was built to feed the St Helens canal. There wasn't enough flow from the river to actually make the canal usable. So I'll show you up here in a minute. They built a dam. And just ahead of us now, we have the A580 East Lancashire Road. Major road that runs through St Helens. I've ridden along there a few times on my bike. It's bloody odd. Yeah, so this is the feed from Carr Mill Dam, which fed into the St Helens Canal. A bit noisy under here. And a bit muddy. Nice lad, just been having a chat to him. I think he said he works at Alderey. He's out with his camera this morning. He's on night, so he's out having a little walk and that. So he'll be able to sleep tonight, I suppose. Fancy having to work Christmas Eve, bloody hell. Oh well. Anyway, he was telling me he's just seen a sparrowhawk and he's seen the kingfishers up here loads of times. I'm yet to see one. I told him about the kestrel this morning. Sat at my desk this morning and Cadden knocked on the window, pointed. There's a kestrel just over our back garden, hovering. Hopefully it's looking for the rats. Never mind. Anyway, moving on. So you can hear the water, it's off to the right now. And this water is actually coming from an overflow just up here. But it's not an overflow. I don't know what they call them. It's from the dam. Carr Mill Dam. It's quite a big place, you know. It's massive. They have speedboat racing here. But originally it was just a mill pond, and they dammed it across the Blackbrook Valley. Blackbrook Valley here. Yeah, they dammed it in 1750 to feed the canal, and now it's well, it's a bloody big thing now. Anyway, let's go over and have a look. And just ahead of me now is the viaduct. So you can see the flow from the canal, the dam. This viaduct carries it's the main line, Liverpool to Wigan. And if we're lucky, we might see a train. So here we go. You can tell how much rain we've had by the flow from here. So if you get here and you haven't brought a flask with you, there's a Toby Carvery off to the left. Get a brew there. Oh, last time we came, there was a guy with a little van, you know, selling coffees out the back of his van. We got a drink off him. I got a hot chocolate, and it was bloody lovely. Okay, here's the viaduct. Let's take you up and show you the dam, eh? Come on, we'll attempt this. Probably go on my arse off here. Ooh, oh, oh. There we go. That must be the landing strip. Okay, so like I said, that's a hotel over there, and just to the left is the Toby Carvery. And I can't see whether the guy's there with his coffee van. He's normally here. Nice coffee. So this is Carr Mill Dam. Man-made, 1750. Amazing, isn't it? We used to come here when we were kids, because when we were kids, just on this area here, there was like a fair. There was helter-skelter and all kinds. And we'd come there, day out. Got the bus here, with my mum and dad, like. Yeah, and spend the day at Carr Mill. It probably could have been a boating lake as well then. I can't remember the boats on here. I'm sure some of you will. And if you look straight ahead there, that's Billinge. Few big tree stumps here. So the dam goes all the way up to the top here, and it actually goes round the corner there as well. Round the corner is the, I think it's called the 19 Arches. It's like a pathway across the dam. I think it's a pipeline across there, I'm not sure what it is. And if you look at the top of the hill there, right up the top there, that's Billinge Lump. Now, we walked up there in the summer, me and Phil. Parked up where we parked this morning, along here, round the dam, and then up to Billinge Lump. That was a good walk, that. That must have been about 10 or 12 miles. But a really good day out. Okay, so this is Carr Mill Dam. Oh, I forgot to tell you as well, if we follow this path along here, follow that, there's actually, it used to be the boat club, and there's a cafe there, so you can go and get a brew there if you want as well. Have a little bit of a walk around the woods. So this was supposed to be just a short walk this morning, so I can get back home. Christmas Eve actually. Merry Christmas everyone. All the very best for the new year to you and yours. Yeah, so I was just going to do a short walk so I can get a video out over the next few days. But I keep getting stopped. Nice people. I suppose the problem's me. Can't stop bloody talking, and I'll talk to anybody. Ooh, it's a bit more dodgy going down. Yes, so I thought to just do a short walk, get back, and then do what we've got to do. I think we've got to peel the veg today. But what a lovely morning, eh? You've got to watch where you're walking though. Some of these dog walkers, bloody hell. If your dog done it there and you got no bag, stick and flick. Come on, what's wrong with you? There's loads of kids walk up here. Oh, it's a bridle way this as well, so if you want to bring your horse, you can do. You get over here, you don't have to try and get through that gate with your horse. Just click cloppity over there. Stanley Bank bridle way. There we go. Richo. Crazy. And there's loads of bins. And specific bins for your poo bags. So don't be leaving them. Come on in. Okay, so we're going to try and go back the other way, but I don't know if it's this footpath and bridle way, over the bridge, and let's see where it takes us. Okay, so this is a first for me. Wow. Look at that. So this is the river. Blackbrook River. This is, I'm not sure where it starts. I'll have a look for you, see where it starts. But you can see here all the evidence of the iron ore. Which way does it come? Oh yeah, there's a little tunnel there. That must be a newly built tunnel which would direct the river underneath the East Lancashire Road. Cool. Okay. Be alright on the gravel bike along here as well, on a mountain bike. As long as you don't fall in the river. Lots of squirrels about. I've seen about 3 or 4 so far, just on this little walk back. I think I might regret coming this way because it looks bloody muddy. See, this area probably all floods along here. Now, which way do we go? That looks muddy that way, doesn't it? We'll go this way. This might take us to Stanley Meadow. Anyway, what have we got to lose? A few big trees come down here. Oh, another squirrel. Did you see it? Oh, running along the log. There it is. And away. It's really nice what they've done here with these paths. They've raised them up here. Another squirrel. Just hope we don't end up in Haydock or Parr or wherever. Another path off to the left there, you see. Paths go on and on. Oops, nearly went. Nearly went. Yeah, all these areas off to the side here must all aid with the flooding. Mind you, looking at these here, these could have been minings from years ago, like where they mined the iron ore and that, in these like dips and everything. It looks like it goes right back through there. It's hard to see because of the trees that have fallen down. That's one for another day. See, that's another one that runs right through there. Need to get here with Phil to investigate some of them, see where they go. Bloody hell. Should be on the other way back there. Anyway, we're back to by the mill here. Oh. Oops. Bloody slippy. That was a nice little detour. And this is where we saw the swans last week, just in here. Okay, we'll have a walk round and see if we can get to Stanley Bank Meadow. He had a pet sheep then. See that dog? Look, you know, it was a fluffy one, wasn't it? I'd like to brush that. Okay, so just to the back of the remains of the old mill, these steps up, and I'm hoping these take us to Stanley Bank Meadow. Now this area, it was just like two natural woodlands years ago. Stanley Bank Meadow now is, I think it's a site of special interests, whatever they call it, because of all the flowers that are there. I'll tell you in a minute what they are when I just get my foot in here. Yeah, so Stanley Bank Meadow, in fact the area was ploughed up during World War II, and they grew crops there, you know, for the local people and that local community. But like always, it was flooding, so anyway they turned it back into the meadow. Yeah, so you can tell how badly flooded this area is here. But Stanley Bank Meadow is just a bit further off. Just haven't got time to get there today, and it might make a nice video at a later date. But in the summer you'll see tons of yellow butterflies. They travel up from Central Europe, believe it or not, come all the way to here. Yeah, it's because of the flowers. There's you know, the orchids, the yellow orchids, they're all round the dam. If you go around the dam, there's tons of them all around the dam, and because you got the flowers, they bring the butterflies and the insects, and then the insects bring the birds, and you'll see kestrels, sparrowhawks, buzzards. There's even tawny owls around here. Now they may be living, the owls, or they could be barn owls. Stanley Bank Farm is just straight ahead over there. Stanley Bank Farm, yeah. Woodpeckers, you name it, they're all round here. Now Stanley Bank Farm is actually up for sale at the minute. It's just gone up for sale the last week or so. Offers over 600 grand. It's it looks an amazing place. I think it was built in the 1800s. The only thing is, because of its age, it wants quite a bit doing to it, so it's a do-it-upper, shall we say. But if you've got the money, 600 grand, and then another couple of 100 grand to do it up, I suppose you could have a lovely place. Okay, so we might be able to see the farm here I was just telling you about. Stanley Farm. I don't think it's called Stanley Farm. Stanley Bank Farm. Or you might just be able to make it out through the trees. See if we can get any closer for you. Now, I don't know if this is a private road. Oh no, it's a bridle way. So there's the farm that's for sale. Offers over 600 grand. Lots of outbuildings, lots of potential. And here we go. Back down to the basin. And the wharf derrick. Showed you that before, didn't I? The wharf derrick for loading and unloading the canal boats. See, now there's various stones set out. You can see them over there. Now I'm not sure which stones they are. There's some of the stones I put there to show you how big the basin was originally. I've got a feeling it's this one on the left of the path here is one of them. It must be one of the few canals in the country that hasn't been worked on. Used for pleasure boats, and I suppose it's costing a lot of them. It's costs a hell of a lot of money. Okay, so I'm just going to have a minute here. Okay, just come to a stop. Back at the start of the walk now. Car park's just over the side there. Just gonna have a little drop of me coffee, and I'll just say thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video of Stanley Bank, Stanley Mill, Stanley Bank is it called? Yes. There's a heritage centre, but it's not open today. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and if I could ask you to please like share, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And I'll hopefully see you on the next one. Ta-da!